Welcome to tutorial number 2 of the Moose for Dummies tutorial series for DCS World. In this tutorial I'm going to focus and explain you on the different options that you have to edit Lua scripts. There are many editors available, and you may have noticed that if you would have peeked on the Moose framework that I have been using the Eclipse LDT editor in many of my video demonstrations, which is an advanced editor that you can install and download for free. It's public domain software. But it does not necessarily mean that you cannot script if you use normal text editors. So you can download any of the publicly available editors text editors that you can download for free and install. And you may have your own, and that will give you a comfortable environment. There is nothing new for you. It's fast to install. But there are a couple of disadvantages that you have, and that is the Eclipse LDT, and specifically the Moose framework, has been built using an integrated documentation system. So every class, every object, every function, every method, or most of them, have at least been documented. There's a line with the text what it does, and the parameters that are applied to the methods and so on. So using the Eclipse LDT you have Intellisense, where you are able to step upon a class or a method and inquire the documentation of that class and that method, and then you can find your way interactively using the documentation system to understand the many components of the Moose framework. Another thing that's advantage of the Eclipse LDT is that there is a tools integration, which to the current extent is not so used a lot, but LDT really provides seamless integration of tools, and well, it really accelerates the development process if you apply that. And later I'm already working on it. I'm on debugging your scripts, and I found methods to do that. I just need to have time to extend it and document it. Yeah, but you can perfectly use normal text editors, and let me get to some of those. Yeah. So one of the standard and best editors that you may all be using today is the Notepad++ editor. You can download it from this web address, or just search it on Google, and it provides you with a couple of capabilities already. Even Intellisense, I'm using it for some debugging, or it's a quick editor that I can just pop up and edit text with, and it provides you as well with limited Intellisense. So any object or variable that you declare, it will list that for you. But I really haven't found a way to get the Lua documentation standard of the Eclipse development environment embedded within Notepad++. But this really provides you with a quick way to edit missions, but it really doesn't help you to check the syntax and get the online documentation done. This is one. I think there are many other editors that you can use, but I really wouldn't prefer you getting into the standard Notepad or something like this, because this is really not a good editor at all. And the other option that you can do, the other option that you have, is that you install the Eclipse Lua development tools. And for this there are tutorials that I've created on my YouTube channel. So you search for Moose setup LDT, right, and then playlist, because if I show this hyperlink here, it would be really too long. Nobody could remember. When you look at the list, there is some thing about release concept and branches and so on, which is maybe not so interesting for you. So I suggest you skip to setup video number 2 3, 4, and 5. 2 is about installing the editor itself. 3 explains you how to use the editor and set up the Moose demonstration missions, which you can download from the GitHub repository and install them within the LDT so that you can look at those scripts fully IntelliSensed. Setup number 4 is about explaining setting up a directory in the LDT that you just installed and setting up your missions. So setting up a folder or a project where your missions are being developed in. And setup number 5 is really important. This explains you the concept of creating folder junctions to save time. So these are really like shortcuts that you can set up on the operating system in your Windows environment, and then you can quickly link from the mission folder that is in your saved games, your DCS missions folder, towards various folders where your My Missions is probably stored, or the Moose demonstration missions and so on. It becomes really handy when you are in the mission editor of DCS. You can quickly access those folders instead of browsing through the complete tree on your hard drive folder list. There are some optional things I can see is the tracing, and then the beta testing I think is for later. I really suggest you have a look at those 5 or those 4 videos here, and I will maybe optimize it because there's some things missing. For example, in video number 4 there is a small thing missing that I didn't mention, and I will add that as a text in the explanation of the video underneath. So good luck with these things, and I'm really looking forward that I really encourage that you set up the LDT. It will really help you to get the Intellisense experience. Again, let me show you what Intellisense is. So if I have here, for example, let me do this, zone. I don't know what zone is, so I go on there and I press F2. So here you have zone as a class, right? So you want to get some information on zone. Oh, and what it does, what method it has, or missile trainer, double point, or AI air-to-air GCI cap, right? And then get its methods, the new methods, new with border, right? This heavily simplifies. You can press F2 and you can see what parameters it has, right? You can see the return value of the function. It explains the different parameters here. It also tells you that you have a new with border, so you can switch between various functions and so on. So this is really a very nice interactive Lua development environment. Thank you for watching, and let me repeat again the search: Moose Setup LDT, and ensure that you search for the playlist so that you can see all the videos that are categorized under this subject. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get to the next video sessions, which is where I'm going really into the core bones about explaining Lua and get you an understanding of the basic language constructs of the Lua scripting language. Thank you very much. Bye bye.